everyone. It is a very, very hot Saturday here in North Alabama. You can probably see Ruby's panting like crazy. It's a hot one, huh, Rubes? It's a hot one, huh, Rubes? Say hi. Say hi, Rubes. Just don't poop in my face. Hi, Rubes.
Look at that cute little fluffy butt.
We actually just put up an umbrella, I should say. And we made a little seating area for Joe and I to sit and drink our coffee or have a beverage at the end of the day. Today our day is going to be pretty mellow. We had an eventful day yesterday. Our youngest earned a quarter doing chores and decided to put it in her mouth and swallow it, and ended up in the ER. Actually, urgent care, then transferred to the ER, then transferred to a pediatric ER for the quarter to get removed. For reference, our youngest, she's 4 years old, but she has a genetic duplication, which I'll go into more detail in another video at some point. But she is 4 years old. She's about 3 feet tall, but she only weighs about 20, I think she's up to 28 pounds now, which is the size of most 1-year-olds. So to give you a little bit of frame of reference. So that was an eventful day. So we're kind of keeping it mellow today. We've been trying some new recipes so that we can share some with you. Actually, I need to go add salt to my sourdoughs here in a second. Joe and I made, so obviously we're doing sourdough, and when you feed a sourdough, you have to throw or discard a good portion of your sourdough starter every time you feed it. So I am not a wasteful person, so I try really hard to find uses for everything. So I found an awesome recipe for scallion pancakes. The kids weren't such a huge fan. They ended up having cereal for breakfast, but Joe and I really enjoyed it. It's a savory pancake with scallions, and I put garlic, salt and pepper on it. Turned out pretty good. We had we tried some with just butter on it, and then we dipped some in a mixture of olive oil and soy sauce to give it a little of a salty flair to it, and it was delicious. So I'll definitely make them again, and I will do a video on making them. I'm trying to think of what else we have going on. We did our grocery shopping already today, and just kind of hanging low, laying low today. Keep it mellow. We've had a eventful day yesterday. I was gonna show you something. Yep, can't remember. Garden's doing really, really well. We've been picking a lot of cherry tomatoes off. My larger tomatoes are still ripening, so they're not quite ready yet. But everything else is looking really good. We've got quite a few jalapenos that are just about ready to pick. We've been picking a ton of cucumbers, ton of cherry tomatoes. My chicken's making such a weird noise right now. She's trying to cool off. Gross. I'm trying to think of what else we've done. This week we fed all the plants with a liquid fish emulsion mixture with water, because we went a few days without having any rain, so it gave them a good feed, watering and a feed all at once. Some of you might have seen on Instagram and on our Facebook page, and I also am on a Facebook page called Friends of Roots and Refuge, and I posted on there about our tomato hornworm that we found. It was on one of my dwarf tomato plants. They only get, I don't know, I'd say it's like maybe 7 or 8 inches high, and the little caterpillar, I swear to you, was probably a good 5 or 6 inches long and devoured all the leaves off of one of my plants. Thankfully, the tomato that was on it is still developing, so hopefully it'll continue to do so. I hope you can hear Ruby's silly noises. She's making funny noises. Trying to think of what else we have going on. Corn's growing really well. Our pumpkin is actually ripening. Let me see. It's really bright out and hot out, so I'll try to make this really quick. Let's see. Yep, you can see it. Our pumpkin is turning orange. Not very big, but we have a lot of female flowers still developing, so I'm hoping that we can still get a decent couple more pumpkins off of that. Cucumbers are doing great. Our watermelon plants are, I'll do a garden tour, but I'm trailing them out here and they're doing awesome. Look, very, very healthy foliage. Oh, we've got a butterfly friend sitting on the marigold. We love those friends. And we also actually, I'll go into more detail, but we ended up putting some tomato, bean, zucchini, and a bunch of different types of winter squash in this bed because none of the plants that we had started from seed in there germinated. Right after we planted them, we got pounded with rain for a while, and I just think that they couldn't take all that rain. So, oh, I remember what I was going to tell you about. So Ruby's actually out here hanging out with me because we have our 2 copper morans inside. Say hey, Ruby. Say hey, Ruby Doobs. Hey, Ruby Doobs. Hey, mamas. I'm not sure. Hopefully you can see them. We have a French black copper moran and a French blue copper moran. They're about, let's see, I'd say they're about 5, maybe 6 weeks now. We've been bringing them out during the day, supervised with Ruby. We kept them separate for a while. I think I mentioned that in a different video. Kept them separate for a while, and then we started letting them together. Ruby was not a fan at first, if I'm being honest, which I think is pretty normal, trying to develop their pecking order and all that. But she's doing much better with them right now. We're not quite at the point where we want to leave them out here all day with her, just for fear that we'd come out and one of them would be injured, just from natural tendencies between chickens, especially when they're foreign chickens that she's not used to. But we're hoping within the next week we can start leaving them out unsupervised. And then the smallest 4 that we have inside our house still under the heat lamp, let's see, they're about, maybe 2 or 3 weeks old now. So we've been bringing them out just for a very short periods of time, just to start getting them acclimated to the sights and smells out here. But probably within this week, once these guys can all be left alone, we'll likely start letting them kind of be near each other. Again, we're just worried about the pecking order issues that we may see between the chickens. The copper morans that we have in the run right now, those are the ones that have the darkest color eggs of all recognized chicken breeds from what I've read. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I am not a chicken expert, but we're really excited to have them start laying, although we are worried that the black one is a rooster, and that would be really sad because that is Joe's absolute favorite, and its comb is definitely coming in, whereas the blue is much larger than the black one is and does not have, the comb is still pink, whereas the black one's comb is turning red. That's not a surefire sign that it's a rooster, but I'm just very worried. Joe loves that bird. So I guess there are some options out there because we can't have roosters here. We're actually zoned our, I guess they're not HOA, but our covenants for the neighborhood, it's very clearly stated we can't have roosters. So yeah, there he is. He, she, whatever it is, hanging out right there. I'm trying to think of what else we've got going on. We're gonna stay mostly inside this weekend because it is very warm. Thankfully, we're supposed to have rain tomorrow, so all my plants will get watered. I did water some of them today, especially the smaller ones, because it's so hot. They need the water, but the rest of my plants I won't water. I haven't watered them in a couple days since it rained last, and I'll let the rain take care of it. They don't look too stressed. They're still looking pretty healthy tomato plants. They're getting huge. So I'm 5'4". This is quite a bit larger than I am, and a lot of these plants are even larger than that, but I don't think me messing with them will do it justice. They're very tall. They're just not staked and tied up properly. I got tomato cages like you can get at most garden centers, because in the past that's all I really needed because I didn't really know what I was doing. But I learned this year how to properly prune, how to fertilize, all that fun stuff, and now they're huge and my typical tomato cages are not doing them justice, so I learned my lesson for next year. All right, well, I'll keep it short. Just a quick little update for Saturday. Hope you guys are all staying safe and drinking lots of water in this heat. And yeah, that's all I've got for now. Thank you guys for watching.